Welcome back to more of Let's Play EG, everybody. I'm your host, Bright Roar, and this is Sector 8 Fracture. Okay, so Sector 8 is a much shorter stage than the previous one, but it's not any less fun. It's a great stage, well designed, and I really do enjoy it. I mean, we're already knee-deep in Kamado bodies, so can't complain about that. Looks pretty promising from where I'm standing. It's also home to one of the most significant plot changes in the game, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Right now, we're gonna take out this Berserker, head to the right, and check out on a little logbook. So if you couldn't see this one coming from a mile away, well, I don't know what to tell you other than meet the Kamado Annihilator. At 80 HP, this guy is as big and powerful as he is ugly, with an array of weapons including a multi-shot shock splinter, a hyperpulse or splinter gun, and a plasma cannon, and one other attack. These guys are tough. They are the most powerful enemies in the game, and you do not want to fuck around with them, lest you end up like that elite right there. Unfortunately, we need to deal with this guy and destroy him if we want to do a certain thing, and the best way to do that is to crack them while their backs are turned. That'll reduce their HP to half, and their heavy weapons won't work, making them easy picking. As for your spoils when you defeat them, you're gonna get a lot of ammo and even more nano, making them great for leveling up and restocking, but in most circumstances, it's going to be best to avoid these guys and run away. They soak up a ton of damage and you end up wasting a lot of ammo trying to defeat them. Not to mention, they're very difficult to crack. And in most cases, you're just better off running away. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting your time, wasting your efforts. Really not worth it. Just run away, get out of there, live to fight another day and all that jazz. Alright, so up above us is a seemingly ordinary room, only filled with a couple logbooks and upgrade stations, but it in fact holds one of the most significant items in the game, a device known as the Trap Mine. And what the Trap Mine does, if you place it on a teleporter pad, the next person that tries to come through there will be destroyed along with the pad itself. Very useful, but we're not going to use it quite yet. One thing I will point out is that this is the only trap mine in the game. You're only going to have it for Sector 8, and it is extremely important. But like I said, we're not going to use it quite yet. First things first, we need to take care of this Annihilator up here. He's already taken out all of the Tazan Elite, so it made my job a little easier, but it was a tough one to crack, but eventually I was able to sneak up behind him and take him on out. Lovely explosion right there. And now with both of those Annihilators out of the way, we can finally go on to the special item I was trying to get. And we did all of that so we could get to that turret head right there. And we need it undamaged, so we're going to take out this trooper with a relatively weak pulse cannon. And then carefully make our way over and kick it off its stand. So one of the big things about the Kamado race is that they love to make games out of anything and everything. And one of their favorite games is the Hyper Turret game, which is more or less just soccer played with the turret head, resonance detonators, and the Hyper Pulse. It's one of the most dangerous games ever invented, and the only game more deadly than it is Ultra Minefield Run and Seek, which is of course banned on 36 planets right now. And in keeping with the spirit of the Hyper Turret game, EG's going to take this turret all the way over to the goal and score one for the team. earning herself a literal Easter egg. Very funny indeed. However, our multicultural efforts net us a brand new supercharge, and we have another point to spend, so it's all good. Pretty cool. So with that time-consuming task taken care of, we can finally head on to the rest of Sector 8. Go ahead and equip our plasma cannon, we're gonna need it. Not quite yet though, I need to do a little bit of upgrading. Because we already have 4 points this early into the sector. Only about halfway through it. And I figure it's as good a time as any to spend a couple points. Drop a few into Assimilate. And we're gonna put one into Attack, and that'll get us the special trait, Improved Auto-Loading. And what that's gonna do for non-rapid fire weapons, it's gonna decrease the loading time by 20%. This is very useful for weapons such as the MPFB Devastator. And finally, over to our left is another one of Maya's ribbons. As much as I'm gonna hate doing it, we're gonna have to ignore EG's musings right there. As Dan is about to tell us, we need to defend this room, and ourselves, as this lift powers up. And the best way to do that, of course, is to place the trap mine down. This is definitely the best way of going about things. Although I do think it would be pretty funny if EG tossed the trap mine into one of the Kamado's faces, kind of like that toy robot. Anyways, let's go ahead and activate this terminal and get things rolling. And with that explosion, we have effectively cut the number of Kamado in half, at least for this room. There's much more blood to be spilled up top. So we'll go ahead and take the lift on up to floor number 9, the Recreation Center. This is a reference to System Shock's 2 Recreation deck, and if you look in the background you can even see some basketball goals. And being the recreation center, of course, people are gonna get thirsty, especially if they're playing basketball. And to take care of that, there are a bunch of vending machines all across the recreation deck. And if you try to activate one of them, well, you'll get something a little special. You're gonna get soda cans, 5 per vending machine for the Deadly Soda Can Kick. It's effective at quenching your enemy's thirst. I'm sure it doesn't need to be said, but shit has kind of hit the fan. And before we get into all that, we're gonna head down here and activate this terminal. And that'll put the Annihilator Beta online for Sector X, and that's gonna be a lot of fun when we get there. But this logbook right here is gonna teach us about another hidden skill. EG, of course, has the air braking, teching, and nano reboot skills, but she also has another one known as Retribution. And to activate that, we need 5 or less HP left, the 8 basic nano weapons, and at least 1 ammo for them. And if we hold C while we're knocked down, and we're getting back up, a storm of explosions is going to appear around us, and damage all enemies on the screen. And while I have never actually used Retribution, From what I've read, it deals a total of 420 HP at attack 10, making it extremely powerful. Whether or not I'll be using Retribution for this run through remains to be seen. I don't think I will because I almost never fall below 5 HP. Also, more soda cans. You can never have enough soda cans. So Dan here has been captured by one of the Kamado, and EG's efforts at destroying the Phantom Hammer have all been for naught. The planetary generator was destroyed regardless. So things aren't looking too bright right now, but it can't get any worse. And Annihilator is making a mess of those Tazans. Very, very destructive. We want to avoid him, and thankfully his back is turned. So we'll just go ahead and sneak on around. Maybe EG has gotten better at the art of subtlety. And one jump and we're home free. Oh, nope, can't do it. Anyways, we're going to upgrade health twice, and then we'll be on our merry way to the sector exit. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in Sector 9.